Hey everybody, we're back. We're back here in the Reach because we have some interesting threads to follow up on. First, we're here at Carillon because we want to try to get rid of a cat. And let's see. Here we go. Take the feline, eccentric, and Paimon on a tour of the terraces. The eccentric thinks he'll be at home amidst the sober, scrupulous suffering inflicted at Carillon. A profound affinity. Paimon watches as penitents quietly request their punishments. He observes the devils recommend exact castigations. Then, rapt, he stares as the penitents endure their punishment without complaint or immodest anguish. He does not purr. Purring is not Paimon's way. But he admires the penitent's stoicism and how Carillon administers sober, undramatic chastisement. Also, the devils steadfastly ignore him, which he seems to like. When you turn back for your locomotive, Paimon makes no move to follow. Oh. Look, the eccentric chose a gentler course. So, again, carrot or the stick. I could have dropped him off somewhere that he liked, or I could have gone somewhere that he really didn't like, right? Do the opposite. This seems to affect what the eccentric. I don't know. I'm assuming it's going to affect the outcome here at the end. But I like, so basically the things that Paimon is an embodiment of a piece of herself that the eccentric chose to give away, that she didn't want anymore. And he kind of represents like temperance and stoicism, which is interesting because, obviously that's not objective, and I'd say a little bit of both of those qualities is good, but you can definitely take them too far, right? If you are so anti-fun is probably the term. Like if you're so wrapped up in being serious and aloof that you can't enjoy anything, then yeah, that's a bit of a buzzkill to others and to yourself. So I like the idea that that's a negative trait, at least in excess. Okay, so one cat down, two to go. Is there something I can do here? I forget. Hmm. I could work on my soul. Oh, I also have stuff to sell. I have some caged catches to sell at a disgusting markup. Wow. All right, now, should I work on my soul a little bit? Man, I guess. Um, I don't know. I need a clear soul to be. Yeah, I can work on my clear soul. And okay, so how do I? I'm visiting the sand garden. And I need iron. Oh, here we go. Gain a great deal of endurance penance. There are ways of not having to wait, like letting someone else wait in your place. Yeah, let's do that. I picked up this barrel of hours before, somewhere, just from some rock I mined. Good place to use it. Now I have a penance of indulgence, too. Let's cure my clear soul. Wow, I needed a lot of penances for that. So clear means a disregard of death. Disregard of death is a serious flaw. It displeases the Blue Kingdom. It makes the devils tut. Okay, let's cure my clear soul. There are still a few flaws in your soul, but matters are improving. Okay, cool. So make XP, Savage Secret, Tales of Terror. Um, what is Penitent Ape? I forget what you're doing. I would need to get other penances to finish the ape's quest line. He's collected human souls and now he's here to cultivate them. So I need Inescapable Truth penance or Excess penance. Let's see if I can get either of those. Oh, wait. Shoot. I can't come back without getting that soul flaw again. Well, whatever. What's the rest of my soul looking like? No, it's here. Where do I see the state of my soul? Here we go. I am stained. I'm fermented. I'm stained and fermented. Okay. I don't know. Here we go. The Garden of Insatiable Roses. Only penitents with stained souls may visit the garden. Okay. Cure my stained soul. Perhaps you've looked into topics you should not have. Perhaps your soul has been consumed and spat out again by an unspeakable beast. I mean, okay. I can't. Okay. So all these people I need to donate different penances to. Let's cure my stained soul. Perhaps you've been looking into topics you should not have. Perhaps your soul. Oh, I said that already. Okay. More XP and more other stuff. Okay. Let's visit the Gaslight Terrace. Gain a penance of enlightenment. Those are pretty easy to get for me now. I have 6 of them. Yeah, I've already got a bunch. Okay. What about penances of ordeal? Sounds like something useful to have. I need my iron to be better. I'd like a bunch of penances of ordeal. Okay, so let's make our iron as high as we can make it. Okay. That guy actually gives iron. Oh, so does he. Okay, so I'm switching from the clay conductor to my navigator. I'm switching to my ant. And that's it. Okay. It was ordeal, right? Gain a penance of ordeal. Okay, how many of these do we need? I have 1. Hmm. Okay. So I could donate ordeal and deprivation to the professional penitent. She likely has use for these, for her current customer or for a future one. Yeah, sure. What does this get me? More XP and a savage secret. She accepts both penances gratefully. Let me pay you, she says. Deprivations are not my favorite. I still do them, of course. There's nothing I won't live through for a client. But the fasting gets dull. So nice to be able to stock this without having to do it myself. Cool. I'll go for the XP. Now, let's get a few more penances of ordeal, because I need that for something else. I'm trying to figure out what I need and where. Cure my fermented soul. Let's do that. Perhaps you've eaten that which you should not. Perhaps you've come in contact with something unclean. At any rate, your soul has gone a bit off. My soul is pristine as a newborn baby's. Very nice. This is good XP, man. Alright, what do you need? Penitent nurse? Oh, donate a mix of deprivation and ordeal. I can do that. What good is control if it doesn't come with strength? You donate your penance to her. She struggles. The penance was painful to perform, and it's not easy to receive either. On the way down the staircase, she tells you about the hospital where she used to work. Administrators who stole from the medical funds, doctors who drank before surgeries. Some meant well, some meant poorly. I can't say I did much about it. I didn't want to be too harsh with the ones that were trying, she says, but I should have done for the patient's sake. I like that. It can be really easy to let the little things slide. But, you know, as they say, the path to hell. Okay, so I'm working my way down. Gaslight Terrace is checked off. Bell Garden's checked off. Visit the checkerboard garden. Consider the Rubbery Man. What do you got, Rubbery Man? Oh, I can do him too. Elevation of a Rubbery Man. What would such a person need? Perhaps understanding cut with ambition. Ooh, a level up. Nice. Enlightenment for a start, conversion for a chaser. He consumes both. Tentacles are involved, and the twitching of excessively mobile, would one call those lips? But then, what a transformation! His features smooth and flatten. His tentacles retract. From a distance, one might take him for a human gentleman with an especially prominent brow. He assesses you. Then, no thanks, no comment, not even the wave of a tentacle. What an ingrate. He takes up someone's freshly discarded crozier. As a bishop, he joins the game in play. I think the crozier is like the hooked staff. Oh, right, because there's a chess game going on here. So he's allowed to play now, I guess, or he feels like playing. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, Checkerboard Garden's done. Stunted Grove is done. Garden of Insatiable Roses I can't get into because I don't have a stained soul. The rest of this stuff I can't get into, for better or worse. Um, oh, you know, poop. Because I think there's something you can do. Um, provide exquisite insight. Yeah, look. I need a penance of, I need like one of every kind of penance. And now I don't have the ability to get some of those. I need a penance of deprivation, excess, inescapable truth, and ordeal. So I can get deprivation and ordeal. I need excess. So I need a stained soul, which I just cured, and a flickering soul. I'm going to write that down. Stained and flickering. But, what was that other thing I could do? Visit the isolated office of an abstemious devil. No sooner have you stepped off your engine than an invitation is pressed into your hand. I feel like I've actually stepped off my engine quite a while ago, but it's fine. Dear Intendant, I understand you to be a person of admirable association. I require a sympathetic and intrepid captain. I hope that's you. It smells faintly of brimstone. Her room lies at the dim end of a barely used corridor. Knocking, you enter a poky, peeling office. The shelves are crowded with books on infernal history, their covers embossed with brass. A devil sits at a rosewood desk. Her neck is slender, her poise stiff. Her dress is stern as a governess's. She's lunching on a salad of unidentifiably bland vegetables. Thank you for coming. She seems reluctant to look at you. I've forsaken the interests of my kind, and the activities here are a continual temptation. I hope to book passage to the Well of the Wolf, to spend the rest of my time in austere service. Sure, I'll agree to transport you. It's a long and dangerous journey for which she offers to pay you handsomely. Half now, half later. I like half now, half later. Good. She packs briskly. A single change of scratchy-looking wool clothes, a large bar of carbolic soap, and one book. As she climbs the steps to your engine, one of Caroline's infernal attendants watches her leave. Pity, he remarks to you. She was a devil's devil once. Okay. Now it is time to level up. just make sure I have the plan in mind for how I'm going to level up. If I now rearrange these dudes a little bit. Yeah, my hearts are now at 52. Okay. Which means if I level up and I take a facet that has hearts as its secondary. So what do I want the primary to be? I'm thinking mirrors. Is that an option? Yeah, mirrors and hearts. Very nice. Mirrors and hearts. Mirrors and hearts. Then my hearts is now at 55. And if I swap out my ratty reunion, if I swap out my Jujitsu driver for my ratty reunion, then my hearts are now at 65, giving me just enough to use the weapon that I got. So let's travel back to New Winchester post haste and throw that shit on and give it a try. Oh, but first we actually want to stop at the circus because there was something else for us to do there. And I'm not even going to jump cut because I go through this so fast now with this new engine. It's going to take like 30 seconds to get there. So now that does come at a significant hit to my iron skill. But again, I wasn't really planning to be well-rounded anyway. And granted, I wasn't planning for my skills to go in this direction, but I really want to use this weapon, so I think it's worth it. And now, like, again, my hearts are quite good, so it'll be a pretty easy to make checks using that skill. Alright, now what is it that we had to do at the circus? I forget. I'll collect free tickets to the circus, obviously. We'll do all this good stuff so that we're reducing our terror a little bit. Maybe quite a bit. Might as well while I'm here. Okay. Let's go behind the tents. Have I written a port report lately? I guess I have. Two things to do. Oh yeah, so I distributed some flyers like ages ago for the Headstrong Strong Woman. You deliver the news while she's in the middle of her training. She puts the dumbbell down with exquisite form and fetches you a reward from her tent. Here, she says, wiping sweat from her brow with her forearm. I hope they'll bring something interesting. I've really missed being surprised. She smiles wistfully and returns to lifting her weights, keeping up a running commentary on the things she saw last time her act was popular. And that's important. I mean, that's nice. But I think that's the last quest I have for the like improving the circus. So I wonder if I get anything out of that. Yeah, look, there's another option there. Okay, but before I do that, let's ask the humiliated magician about tigers. Right, the fortunate navigator wants to see a tiger for his dead friend. The magician contemplates the fortunate navigator. On your back, that is a body, not a mannequin. No, actually, I'd rather not know. He shifts so that Alton is not in view. You could try Peppercorn's daughter, followed him into the business. She can even pull off his grand finale from when he was at Mahogany Hall. She's a traveling magician. She leaves some of her large props with me and returns to swap them when she's creating a new performance. I have no idea when she'll next return. It's always a delightful surprise. He does not sound delighted. You'll have to find her. She goes between Lustrum, Titania, and Port Prosper. Okay, fair enough. Now, let's see what this new option is. A moment's memory. The inconceivable circus is pulling in crowds. The rejuvenated circus is heaving with visitors. Looming over it all is the vast obelisk. Its shadow falls over the crowds. Its sigils are burning brighter than you remember. Approach the obelisk. You could touch it if you like. I don't know if I should. Here once before. The circus has vanished. The islands on which it stood are empty. Empty, aside from a vast tree of fungus stretching up into the heavens. Its hyphae stretch from island to island, weaving them together. A verdant. Looming above it is a luminous crustacean the size of a palace. A messenger. This is so cool, because we've been to that crustacean. Well, maybe all messengers are the giant crabs? I don't know. But anyway, its carapace is emblazoned with a sign of two overlapping suns. No, it is the same one from Eleutheria. Its pincers flex slowly, thoughtfully. Sigils burn in the air between the two, exchanged like volleys in a tennis match. Gradually, the flurry of correspondence diminishes. A compact has been reached. The messenger drives the obelisk into the ground, a marker of their concord. The obelisk is marked with the words of the emissaries. That must be what these are. Of meeting, of peace. One, close to the point, ignites in searing light. A commingling of radiances. The obelisk remembers the promise. Something has to. Interesting. I gained a searing enigma. Very nice. I brought the circus back to full strength and experienced something of what came before. Okay, so at one point, the twin kings of Eleutheria made a compact with, I guess, this verdant, this fungus. So that must have still been after the sun of this realm was killed. Okay. A note from Mr. Menagerie at Palmyre and Plenty's. Oh, I think I knew that already. Yeah. Very cool. Okay, so next stop is question mark. I think we've got a couple of places to go. We could head over to Port Prosper. I think like our aunt has something to do there. I think we could go to Magdalene's to drop off a cat. We got a couple options. Okay, so welcome back. We're on our way to the nature reserve here to... We had done a couple of fetch quests for the researcher here, bringing him some things. And we brought him all the stuff, and then he said, you know, come back later. So we're coming back later. To see what he's got for us. Probably a reward, possibly something nice besides, like some kind of I don't know, equipment. I don't know. Capabilities Inquest. Here's the base of research. Ask him about his completed research. He left a note at the dock asking you to drop by. Research derailed. Oh man. He sits alone in his cabin. A pie sits on his table, barely touched. He's too upset to eat his pie! This guy is fucked up. He welcomes you but sounds dejected. Evil befell my colleagues. My research has been cancelled. And Leadbeater and Stainrods won't tell me why. Tell me more. They cut my funding and took away my work. He takes an unhappy nibble of pie. They're shutting down research here. The entirety of their production is turning toward Apollonian cinders. And his colleagues? One sang her voice away, and that didn't stop her. A few have shut themselves away with their research. The researcher shakes his head. There must be something here causing the fatal obsessions. If you'd help me discover it, I'd be grateful. A calculating look flits across his face. I'll need someone to go into the reserve. They'll have to be well armed. You captains carry munitions, right? We do. I don't think I have any with me. But all his comrades took ill. He's attempting to uncover why. Okay, yeah, I need a carefully packed crate of munitions. Alright, dude. I'll go back and get some. Unless, where can I buy those? Nowhere close. Wait, like not even anywhere in this sector. Alright, well, good thing I've got some in the bank. Okay. Before I do that, I can stop at Titania on the way back because I was looking for somebody there for the the navigator, I believe. Pretty sure for the navigator. Yeah. Oh, and maybe we'll run into an enemy along the way, and I can show off this, the Wrath of Heaven, which is now mounted on my ship. Perhaps, you know, yeah, perhaps. Oh, it sounds like bees! Hey, bees! Hold on. I don't want you to get a good view. Hey, bees! Fuck you! Boom! It's so cool. You know, it travels slowly, the projectile, and you have to, like, actually hit them. Ow. And it has blast damage, and if you yourself are too close, then you might want to watch out. But it's pretty strong. Yeah, it generates a lot of heat, so you can only throw one at a time. But it does an absurd amount of damage. Yeah, 50, and then the blast damage is 40. I think those can both happen to the same target. Hey, bees! Well, let's find out. Yes, it can, because the bees take... Well, not definitively. The bees take 4 hits of your other gun, which does 15, so they could have at max 60 health, at minimum 46. But it's pretty good. It's pretty good. This is a really lucrative sector to come through if your stats are high enough, because you can reliably get Chorister Nectar. He's, you know, somewhat reliably, and through the bees, and you can also find them in like caches like this. So much Chorister Nectar. Oh yeah, that was the other thing I was gonna do while I was here. I gathered all this stuff to advance my Repentant Devil's quest line. Ask him about his possible enemies. If he's attracting assassins onto your locomotive, you deserve to know everything. Though he'll see that point of view better if plied with tea. Alright. Account of past acquaintances. I've had 3 particular friends, he says. 2 of them I think are dead, and as for the third, it would not be her style to look for me. But if I were to trace this matter, it would take me to Caroline and to London, and to the Well of the Wolf. You asked about my enemies, I know, he says, but when you get to my age, it's the same thing. Friends and enemies. Okay. Caroline, the Well of the Wolf, and the Baroness of Hell in London? Well, that sounds normal. Okay, dude. Oh, I can ask about each of these. Who's your friend at Caroline? Or the friend you would expect to find there? I don't make a habit of visiting Caroline. It would be better not to attempt soul purification at all than to do such a clumsy job of it. Besides, there's the risk that I would be recognized there if I gave my name. I'm the one who devised the original methods they're currently executing in parody, and, well, he considers the top of the table. Hero worship from the incompetent is always awkward. What about the Well of the Wolf? There's a friend, a colleague from the earliest part of my life. She died, as far as I know, in the fighting before the devils went to Caduceus and escaped the judgments. But that was then. If she is less dead now, I would expect to find her at the Well of the Wolf. She always did have a taste for dramatic protests. He looks unapproachably morose for a few minutes, then adds, I have no taste for places that celebrate defeat, but I will go where I must. Places that celebrate defeat. That's what the Well of the Wolf is? Interesting. And your friend in London? The Baroness. My contact in London belongs to the old aristocracy, he says. We will find her, perhaps, in the ruins of the palace stables, chewing all the gilding off a state carriage 10 years past its last parade. If not there, then someplace similar. Find her in the stables? Oh, the ruins of the stables, okay. She does not much like humans, unless they happen to be the crown prince of a dissolved monarchy, or the general of an exiled army. The fact that you're with me will not pacify her. The last time we spoke, I took off one of her legs. So bring a tribute, immaculate souls. Okay, can do. We've got just a bunch of quests now, because we've got like all the areas unlocked. We haven't been to the Blue Kingdom yet, but all the other areas. I've already forgotten what I'm doing in Titania. I'm looking for somebody. Look for the magician. Yes, 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 yes. My chances, my searching for Miss Peppercorn give me a 27% chance of success. Let's just find her right here. Ah, okay, she's not here. You're directed to the mayor, who's dismayed to disappoint you. Peppercorn always seems to rush off the moment she's done here. Perhaps it's the pollen? She walks around the Fortunate Navigator and frowns at the body on his back. Is that an art piece? Okay, we searched Titania, didn't find it. Okay. What did that guy want? Right, I need munitions, which I'll need to go to New Winchester for. Okay, let's do that. Actually, since we're so close to Magdalene's, we can drop off another cat here. Oh, first, there's some dudes over here who need killing. Hey, Tackety dude. What are you fighting somebody? You seem to be fighting somebody. Oh, I don't want to hurt you, though. Let's see if I can kill the Tackety without killing the Enduring Dreadnought. Oh, there are two Tacketies here. Fuck you! Holy shit, that's awesome. Let's pillage their stores for fuel and supplies. I lost a crew! Whatever, still got some stuff. Boom! Oh yeah. They just vanish. I love it. Anyway, let's go to Magdalene's and drop off another cat. Alright, anything at the keepsake market? An otherworldly artifact? Sure. I'll take another otherworldly artifact. Now... help the feline eccentric locate an attendant to quell Asmodee's anger. You require someone good with animals, with an ample lap and boundless patience. The most senior attendant at Magdalene steps forward. I could do with a challenge, she says. The attendant is very good. She enters the engine room, ignores Asmodee completely, sits on a chair, and begins to read her book. You close the door. Half an hour later, you burst into the room to discover Asmodee stretched on the attendant's lap, his paws treadling the air, her fingers running through the thick fur of his tummy. A thick bass purr of utter contentment emanates from his throat. He springs to his feet, but it's too late. The feline eccentric fusses over him. What a good boy he is. How nice it is to see him happy. She knew he was a softy, really. Asmodee hisses, at her, then at you. He doesn't hiss at the attendant, though. Instead, he stalks from your locomotive and is never seen again. Oh, it's called a moment of weakness. So he had this tough guy, aloof front, but the attendant proved that to be a lie. Okay, Asmodee has departed. Very nice. All right, so we stopped at Magdalene's. Next, now we go back to New Winchester, pick up some explosives. Okay, here we are back at the nature reserve with some carefully packed munitions. So let's see what mischief we can get up to. Okay, enter the reserve. You'll be going alone. You'll have only your wits and your weapons. Okay, he passes me a map of the wilderness. It looks like the work of a child. The man who made that was one of our best scouts, he said proudly, but our worst cartographer. He died from climbing too high and the inevitable fall. Please find out what's driven my friends to madness. Okay. Oh, interesting. Going on tours through the reserve will make this stuff easier. Well, I think we can go on one tour. Quick trip into the reserve. Cool. Alright, okay, now head deep into the reserve. It's dangerous, but if you're going to help the researcher, you must brave it. You'll need a map and some explosives, just in case. Well, I have those, okay. There are no other people here. It's just you and the birds and flowers, trees and woodland creatures, streams and bumbling insects. Any evils are insidious. Be on your guard. Okay, follow the trail. The map indicates you should continue straight ahead from the forked road, visiting neither Albert's River nor the Violet Whirl. Okay. The abundance forms a labyrinth. The trees on each side grow so close together that it takes all your wits to navigate the undergrowth. But you forge a path through the brush till you emerge at a clearing. Okay, pass through the meadow. This clearing is filled with powder blue mushrooms. They sway gently in the breeze. All other routes are guarded by fierce thorns. The only way onward is straight through. Alright, let's do it. A hideous smell permeates the air, one powerful enough to knock a weaker spirited captain down. As you pass a human-shaped fungal lump, it's hard not to consider that may be exactly what has happened. Ugh. When you finally reach the other side, it's some time before you recover from the olfactory bombardment. Your map directs you to a cliffside, which towers above you. Okay. Is this a strength check? No. Oh, there is a cave. Pass through the cave. The cliffs are colored like a mixing palette. There's a small cave opening. The map indicates you should travel through. Also on the map, circled and in red, is no light. Alright. Pass through. It's as dark as unconsciousness. Progress requires focus. Hand on the wall, one step at a time. The walk takes some hours to complete, but you make it to the tunnel's end and light. Before you lies a valley. Enter the valley. Your trail ends in the heart of the valley. The phlegmatic researcher traced the source of his colleague's illness to here. It's a steep climb down to it. Okay. The climb is unpleasant, but it's at least invigorating. The wind whips by as you find crevices and holes on the verdant rock. The sun beams warmly as you negotiate between barbed roots and slippery lichens. Eventually, you make it down. You travel inward until you come to an area cordoned off with thick rope and small cloth flags. You conceal yourself in the underbrush and observe the masked industrial workers of Leadbeater and Stainrod harvesting distinctive-looking flowers. You take one for yourself and fight your way back through the reserve with significantly less difficulty than it took to get here. They're harvesting a special type of flower. Hand over the flower and tell him what you found in the valley. The researcher digs his finger into the petals and draws it out. It's coated with yellow pollen. This is what they use for Apollonian cinders, he whispers, sniffing gently. He coughs violently. I feel, goodness, goodness. This is it, the cinders. This is what's driven their passions mad, driven my friends to ruin. And now the company is pushing it onto the Empire? He leans over and grabs a tall stack of papers. He dips his pen in ink and begins writing. I'll see that they know the truth. I hope I can call on you. Okay. Oh, I gained a cryptic benefactor. Nice. Distribute anti-cinder propaganda. He has written many, many pamphlets. Okay. Take them to New Winchester. Is this... Does this actually go somewhere, or is this like a recurring quest? Like you can get 100 gold if you pick this thing up and take it to New Winchester. I hope it goes somewhere. But anyway. Didn't I already do this stuff? Yeah. Okay, is there anything else to do here? I don't think so. So, next up, I need to visit Carillon with the devil. I need to go to Faith's Fall here with the Chiropterous Hoarder. I might want to do that because I haven't advanced his quest line at all. I mean, I will stop by Carillon. I just won't show you guys that. So I'll let you know when we get to Carillon. Okay, so on the way to Carillon, I'm stopping by Port Avon, which I think is where Mr. Menagerie is. And he was the one that Mr. Barleycorn at the House of Rods and Chains wanted to talk to. So I'm gonna do that. Mr. Menagerie, what's up, dude? Show him the seal of Mr. Barleycorn. Are you one of the 7 he's looking for? A hiss, a heavy jab in your ribs. Put it away, we will not look! It covers its face with its wing. We are not ready to look, still a long way to go. When we rest, maybe then we will be ready. Ah, follow Mr. Menagerie to the end of its journey. It might be more receptive to the seal then. So I have to follow it around these different ports. So, okay, I don't actually have to get anything. Do I want a different scout? I've got a bat. No, I've got a something. Oh, I don't think you can re-buy things. The Ratronaut is the best. Actually, I kind of want the Intrepid KV. Has good range, returns after finding one discovery, but conveys more information about what it finds. And I've got enough Searing Enigmas for that. Let's take it. He extends a long finger to prod the dozing guinea pig. Oh, says the KV, rubbing sleep from its eyes with a front paw. I do beg your pardon. It sits upright to address you. Sir Lionel, at your service. Am I to understand you are in need of a valiant scout? If so, I am the very pig. Just point me in a direction, and I will sally forth on my trusty bat. Mr. Menagerie seems somewhat relieved to pass Sir Lionel on, and begins to gather up its things. Alright, where are you going next, Mr. Menagerie? We journey to your House of Invention near the Ormswold. What the fuck is that? Your House of Invention near the Ormswold. What's the Ormswold? House of Invention. I don't know, dude. I don't know what that means. So, okay. Does the journal tell me anything more? Mr. Menagerie has left Port Avon. Okay, the House of Invention. Where could that be? Oh, I wonder if that's the Royal Society. It might be. Very cryptic, but I feel like it might be. Okay. So now we're going to Carillon. Here we are. Don't run into it. Oh, we clutched it out. Oh. Alright. An overgrown shrine. Cool. Okay, enter Carillon's foyer. Do I speak to the Deviless? Whoops. Introduce the repentant devil to the presiding deviless. When the deviless is not visibly impressed, the devil says, I brought a small gift, a trifle you might find of value. He produces from his satchel a 3-volume set, bound in fire, his own work. Some methods for flavoring a soul to the tastes of our particular judgment, she reads. She tosses the set on her desk. It huffs smoke. We're just a touch more modern now. It's a fine antiquarian piece, she adds unforgivably. But we find those approaches rather cumbersome. Besides, we find we need to appeal to the original owners of the souls, offer them an experience worth paying for. Let's let him show how she's wrong. In its various gardens, Caroline punishes souls into greater refinement. Perhaps he would like to visit one and demonstrate how it can be improved. He adjusts this mirror to reflect futures, adjusts that blade to cut off the sense of smell. He leaves the penitents howling. Before you go, one of the penitents approaches with a note. Someone was here looking for the devil. The note just didn't make its way through official channels. He's become more ambitious. Interesting. I don't know if that's a good thing. Okay. Okay. Was there anything else I needed to do here? I don't think so. Are there any bargains? Nope. Let's talk to him. Or do I need to visit the other places too? Debrief him on Caroline. If I were younger, I would take that place from its current ownership and turn it into a fitting demonstration of the refinement of the soul. I could even work with you if I turned your ribs to glass. And he's lost in a reverie, like a tailor seized with the vision of the ideal trousers for a particularly difficult client. When he recollects that you're still present, he adds, You may have noticed that they do not bother to prepare each soul to order. That's the real art, of course. Match the soul to its judgment. Okay, so a little bit more bespoke is what he wants. Alright, still got 2 places to go in Albion. Now, okay. Now we are going to Faith's Fall, because that is where the Chiropterous Hoarder wants to go. And he wanted me to bring Bronzewood along, which I have in spades. So that's where we're going next. Ooh, what is this? A scrap! Ow, just ran right into that. Kaboom! Kaboom! These things are tough. But even they can only take 2 shots. That's awesome. Attacking Liberator defeated. Do I try to race to plunder the stores? I've got a decent chance. Let's try it. Nah, failure. Oh, I lose some guys, damn. I still gain some supplies. Alright. That's fine. Alright. Bang. We're coming up on Faith's Fall here. I don't know if you guys have seen this area before, but it's really creepy. Really spooky. And I don't actually know. I didn't take a good look at this before because I try not to take a good look at horrors. Forget what Faith's Fall actually looks like. Oh, what's up, dude? Oh, it's gross. Why is it so gross? There's so much stuff here also. What is it? It kind of looks like a dead sun, but is it like big enough to be one? I don't know. Oh, jeez. Let's seek some unusual items from this Breach Marauder. Okay. Okay, what is this? What is this thing? What remains of the behemoth's carapace is scarred with sigils. Most are marred and broken, some still holding a sullen, resentful power. Your locomotive is stopped on a broad, flat section of the shell. The few sigils nearby are too cracked to risk much harm. Oh, it's another messenger. So they're not all crabs. This one's different looking. Okay. Assist the Chiropter's hoarder with its collection. It seems genuinely overjoyed to be here. There's much to be done. The hoarder hurries a handful of your crew across that monstrous carcass, its instructions giving rhythm to their labor. They build in concert with its directives, sawing bronzewood, scaffolding the walls. An unlucky number is ordered into the sigil-rotted cavities of the messenger corpse. The gland! Bubonic as a citrus fruit left to swell without light, golden blue and lamplit. If you have eyes, you will not miss it, growls the hoarder. Half return. Bedraggled and slick with sweat and mucus, they report that they found the gland the Chiropter's hoarder sought. Unfortunately, it was nothing but a worm-eaten clot of ossified tissue that they brought home. Almost worthless, rasps the hoarder softly. Speak to him back aboard my engine. Jesus. Okay. What else can we do here? Delve deeper into the body. You handpick a few of your crew. Their expressions are grim. Together, you make your way to a crevice in the carapace and secure a rope. You lower supplies down first. It would not do to be caught unprepared. As you climb down, a sickly scent fills your lungs, sweet and heady and corrupt. You have to pause at the bottom to tie a scarf around your face. Your crew does likewise. Desiccation has created tunnels in the behemoth's corpse. The walls are wizened flesh, stone hard, striated with muscle. I could delve deeper still, or I could leave empty-handed. Or I could search for its heart, but I need an unlicensed chart. Okay, remember that. You can come back for the thing's heart. Okay, let's delve deeper still. 94% chance of success. Yeah, boy. A cavity as vast as a ballroom. The tunnel widens into a vast chamber. Something must have made its home here once, in the living passages of the behemoth. Just by the entrance, there's a collection of tools the color of amber. The pile is pinned down by flesh long collapsed from the roof above. Further off, the room has been riven in two. Your route is blocked by a yawning crevice. Your rope will not reach even halfway across, but you could climb down. Explore the crevasse or dig into the hoard. Let's explore. The wall is covered with a thick crust. Jagged striations suggest this chasm is a wound long ago gouged into the behemoth. Beneath flaking scabs are dim sigils, desperate declarations of loyalty. This messenger was steadfast. It died in its king's service, fulfilling its will. The sigils blaze desperately when they feel they're being read. You are overcome by the light. Your crew haul you up and carry you to the surface. Okay. Interesting. Oh shit, what can I not use here? Something is unusable now because I lost crew. What is it? What's my engine? Which just means that I'm not, like, gaining any bonuses. And I can't use the speed up mode. Okay, so we just have to make it back to port, recruit some new crew. Oh, and talk to Mr. Barleycorn, or whatever the Chiropter's hoarder. What about other glands? Faith's fall couldn't have been its only chance. The universe is too massive for such small despairs to be true. Oh, I like that. The Chiropter's hoarder has gouged its frustration onto the walls. The marks are an inch deep at least. At your question, it glares and claws a fresh shape onto an unmarked section of its quarters. Another messenger corpse, its necrosis somehow captured in a few immaculate scratches. The house of rods and chains, it growls. If we went there, I'm sure we'll find another gland. If not, I will dig through its necrotizing flesh until agony causes it to fruit another, just to make me stop. I'll need an unlicensed chart or 2 visions of the heavens. I have visions of the heavens. Alright, so next time I go back to Eleutheria, which should be fairly soon, we'll do that. Very cool. So I don't know why this guy is looking for something out of a messenger, but I would like to know.